Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Code to be a Java Programmer. Today is day 15 of our coding journey. In today's session, we'll see where to use which loop and just a start for objects and classes theoretically. So let's dive in. So we will be using for loop in places where we know for a fixed type of iteration. For let's say we need to print 100 natural numbers, so in that case we know that how many iteration it does go. So in the cases like that we use for loop, whereas while loop can be used in the places where you're not sure about how many times the iteration would go. Let's say you're reading the number of words in a document, so you will not know how many words are there in the document, right? So for those kind of cases you can use while loop and do while loop. As you know earlier, that in order to execute a particular piece of code at least once, you will be using do while loop. Now let's get into objects. So we use objects everywhere in our day-to-day life. Even the laptop in which I'm using it for recording this video is an object. The spoons, the cards, or the pen, pencil, what I have on my table, all these are objects, right? So we cannot do anything without objects. So the same thing goes there in the Java program. Each and everything must be considered as object. So from now onwards we have completed with the basics and we are entering into the concepts called objects and classes. So from on now onwards you should think like a professional Java programmer who uses the concepts of objects. Okay, now let's say you wanted to add two numbers, so you need to think in the perspective of objects. So using which object you'll be adding the two numbers using calculator, right? So in that uh, perspective you must start thinking. I haven't went in detail about classes and object. Now let's dive in. So these objects are created from classes. Now let's say I have a pen. The pen is an object. So this pen has certain characteristics and behavior. Characteristics in the sense its height is 10 centimeter and its width is somewhat 2.5 or 3.5, right? So these are the characteristics. Now let's say what behavior it has. It is capable of writing, right? So we take any object contains a behavior and a characteristic, so that is called object. And same thing goes here in Java program. Any object consists of two attributes which is known as a behavior and characteristic. So we create objects from classes. Okay, so again these objects are created with the help of JVM. We write a class. Now this class file gets compiled and the objects are created with JVM. Okay, for now it is fine to know this much. Okay, now let me relate this with a real-time example. Now let's say we have a class called vehicles. Okay, now vehicles will be the class and the various objects which come under vehicles are car, bike and truck. Now this bike has different characteristics and behavior, and bike has different characteristics and behavior, and also truck has different characteristics and behavior, right? But these three comes under the same class called vehicles. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining me on day 15 of Let's Code to be a Java Programmer. And today is just a brush up or just an introduction of objects and classes. Tomorrow we'll see about them in detail in our Java program. So if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified about our daily coding sessions. See you tomorrow for day 16. Happy coding!